28th of October. Feels like the middle of winter, but it's still early days. Strawing down at the moment. I bet you've seen this on the Joe Sills channel. Got a chopper just like this, Teagle Tomahawk. I think it's a 100, holds one bell, 1 6 stringer. There you go, I'm blasting it in. Got a swivel head on it and whatnot. Conveyor belt to bring the straw in. Nice easy job it is. Last little bit of bell and just wrapping it now. I've got a problem with the electrics at the moment. God knows what's going on here. Might have a bit of wire in the actual cable. There we go. There we go. Reverse back up through. Because we've got a centre passageway, we can blast straw over both sides. So it cuts like opening out doors and going in and out of sheds. So one man can track round with a feeding and bedding down. Just one tractor or spot on. This is nice and fast. So I only like putting wheat straw for bedding in young stock because I find the barley to get a bit boggy. But tell me what you think. Barley's good for calves, but it does make it boggy in the bottom. I find wheat straw is a bit better. They're going to eat this wheat though because it's really good stuff. Straw chopping's good and it's easy and you get a spread over the whole shed, but it probably won't last as long as going in there with a bell and doing it by hand. Use less straw. With the straw chopper. There you go, right there, done. I've just got to do joy cows over there. Alright, turn the shaft off. Knock the oil out. I'll scoop a bell up in there, I'll just reverse out. If I get the bells laid out, like this, we've got a bell there, I'll scoop them up. Right, here we go. Put the drop back down. Fucking thing is playing me up, okay? Right, here we go, I've got a straw and eventually a box keeps playing out. I reckon it's electrics, it's got water in it. Tightened up a bit then. 125 on. So I just push a 6 stringer up in. Cut strings. You gotta make sure you pull strings out. It will chop a bell with strings in it. You'd be surprised how many times people forget. Your phone rings. Scoop that. But it wraps the strings around the bloody around the chopper thing there. Right, so I've just chucked strings in the pile. So yeah, a bit of information about this chopper. He's got a back what drops to the floor so you can scoop bells up. And then he lifts right up as your straw top and push a bit of straw in. You've got, it's not just run on this to push the straw in, you've got a conveyor belt what goes like that, drags it into that big rotor there, what's got real sharp blades on, what chucks it through this head here, and then that head's on a swivel up, down, side to side, and you store whatever you want in the shed. And you can practically store any shed down with it. You can poke it through the tiniest of doors and squirt it all over the place. light missing there already. Done 600 hours. So we got another chopper like that up on the spring unit, but he's 8500, so he will hold 2 bells. And he's got a bigger rotor. His calf straw down here. What you have got to make sure when you're strawing calves down is you ain't got no stones in the straw, because it will bloody hit them. So if you do, like, you know, if you ever do it with cattle in there, you want to do it nice and slow. But we have got stone in straw, what makes massive difference. Some years you've got bloody stones everywhere and you drive all the cattle out then and fed up. And to be fair, you probably do a better job when you drive them out. But they're getting straw and they're getting this grub. I give them a bit of dry cow grub with the hay, give them a boost. Dry cows eating a lot of this. They've got 2 kilos of straw mixed in with it. We could do with a straw chopping up a little bit more actually. So we might have to leave a wagon running a bit more to chop it down. Sprayed a lot of muck about a week ago and look at this, it's green the field right up. Sprayed this off the docks and then put slurry all over it. All the docks died right off. It's an old pasture field. Probably won't reseed because it's like a home field around the buildings. It's got buildings there and then a field out there. So it'd be a hard field to reseed. One year we put maize out there. It was a bit of a pain in the ass. It's always good to run cattle across that field and back through. So he always gets a fair bit of muck, so yield's alright. But I say grass ain't like the best. You could do it for like a new lay in there, but it's one of those fields. It's a big field too. It's maybe 30 acres. So, but he's alright the way he is. Another shed here. We've got fresh calves in. This shed we bring in cows what just calved into. It's alongside the parlour here. Trickling a bit of straw nice and steady. I ain't got to try and ref that much. I've got to watch them block the chopper out there when you go like this. So I've got the back cut now because I've got a tiny little bit of straw now. Last little bit for some calves. So when we first we're going to get a straw chopper, we're going to get one without wheels on, what goes on the hydraulics, because it's probably easier if we're going it through cubicle sheds, but we never use it on cubicles. And this is ideal because in a minute I've got to unload a ton of mineral. I can literally just hitch him off, put him on the floor, and then go and unload the mineral and then hitch him back on, because it's literally like a 4-second job. Well, I'm milking this afternoon. Here's the cows. About 1/3 of the way through. Lined up, gone in. Cows going into the first shed here. It's quite loud in this barn, so slurry tanking. Slurry tanker down the bottom there. Fresh sand in the cubicles. Cows gonna have a good night tonight. Slurry tanker noise echoing all the way up through. Nice dry day, it's hot though. It's hot for October, it's about 19-20 degrees. What's hot in England? Buller here. I know she's bulling because he's chasing. There you go, here's a better look. So yeah, we put sand in about 3 times a week. Every 3 days probably, we chuck a fresh lot of sand in. We've had some good weather, so it stayed nice and dry in here. Don't get much moisture in this shed because the wind always blows in from there and straight through. But it's always better to have a dry day. No problems with water in here because we're on a slope. Cows are really full up. The milk hasn't really gone up much, but I'm just waiting for them, like, because they've been on grass for so long and they've gone straight off grass and straight on the silage. They were getting a little bit of silage, but nothing substantial. So I reckon they're sorting themselves out and then they're going to start hopefully pushing it out before long. One ball there. Did have a collar on him, but his bloody neck's got too big. They're having a sleep. So ideally this is how you want the cows, like with their tail right on the end. So when they shit it falls off. But cows are a little bit different sizes. So like this one here is a little bit pushed in too much. So if he shits it's going to land there. But yeah, it's not too bad, I'd say, the way they're sat. He's sat alright, he's sat alright, he's sat in a bit too much. That one in a bit too much. But yeah, nah, that's alright. So it's about 5:15, we've got one side left. Cows are walking straight out the parlour and straight in the sheds. I thought he'd be standing in the centre today, actually, but they're coming straight in. I'd say 2/3 of them are sat down, 1/3 out eating. Drinking a lot of water, drank this water trough out. They always do drink this water trough out because they come straight to the parlour, straight to this water trough, but we've got water troughs at ends of each barn. So 6 troughs in total, all flip over.